Hey guys, Martin with another CarCast, and it's late in the day for me today. What a day I've had. I was meant to be picking up a new car for my wife today. 1st of September, new registration's out. Her old car had just, it just died. It was on its way out, and it was going to cost more than it was to fix. And obviously, it's what I've done for years, is cars. So we got a good deal on a new one, and we haven't spent a lot. Business isn't that good. But yeah, so it was meant to be all exciting. First time she's picked a brand new car up, and it's just been a disaster. But anyway, let's not spend the whole video about that. It's sorted now. She's got her car. We haven't got rid of the old car. If anybody wants to buy a 56 plate, so 2006 56 plate Golf GT TDI, it's only got 111,000 miles on it, which sounds a lot, but for its age, 10 years old, it's not bad. Dark grey, full GT spec on it, obviously. It's even got a colour coded rear bumper, which you don't get standard with the Golf. Let me know. £2,000, it's yours. Which is cheap, about £2,500. They're retailing for at the moment, private sale. So I'll just take £2,000. That's what I'm going to do, is stick it in Auto Trader. Yeah, that's what I've done. But yeah, put the feelers out there. If anyone wants to buy it, go for it. But yeah, it's kind of messed my whole day up. I had an absolute nightmare with the dealership because they're just useless. Arnold Clark are just useless. They ended up putting things right, I suppose, by way of giving us this, that and the other, and free service and this, that and the other. So we've ended up getting a load of monetary equivalent back to it, but it just shouldn't have happened in the first place. Customer service is just, it's paramount, and I suppose that's what today's CarCast is going to be about. It wasn't going to be, I didn't really have anything, but it's customer service. So customer service in general in this country, I think, is abysmal with any company. And it's not the fault necessarily of the people at the end of the phone when you ring a company, or it's the fault of the country. We complain, we're a nation of complainers, but we don't complain properly, we just complain to each other. So when something's not right, or we're not happy with something, we don't tell the people who can either directly fix it or who can report it back to try and fix it. We just moan to each other about it. And then when you go and speak to Bob in the pub, then Bob's obviously the world's expert on everything, and he'll tell you exactly how it should be done and how it should be run, and he'll moan about it. So all we ever do is moan. I'm moaning now. We're just a nation of moaners. You go to Germany, you won't spend any time in Germany, and their customer service departments are all really quiet, because if something's wrong, it just gets done straight away. So they don't have a big complaints log, because they just get it right. It's a modern world. Things are going to go wrong. People are human. They're going to make mistakes. Machines are machines. They're going to break. Cars are cars. They're going to break. The internet's going to crash. It's not a perfect world. And I get that, and I accept it. But my issue with the country is, if we don't complain correctly, for starters, just said that, but then when we do complain, the companies don't seem to want to do anything about it. They'd sooner waste money throwing it, because of the way we end up complaining. We just go for stuff and like, oh, I want this and you owe me compensation, and you can't sneeze in the wrong room without getting sued for it now, and everybody's so worried about what might happen if they upset Fred that it's just, I don't know, it just gets to me. We don't do it right, and my business is no different. So now, we've not had complaints yet, but I don't want complaints, but I kind of do want complaints. If we're not doing something right, I'd sooner somebody comes to me, either sends me an email, asks for a meeting with me, or just pulls me to one side in the store and just says, do you know what, Martin, I'm not happy with the way that worked, or do you know what, you let yourself down a bit there, or do you know what, this could be better. I can only improve war games if I know what I'm doing wrong. Now, I know it's not perfect, it's far from perfect, but I would like to think that the service that we offer, any of you that have been in, all praise me for the service that both I and my staff give you. We try our best to bend over backwards, but we still get it wrong. And you're allowed to get it wrong. That's the human nature bit. You're allowed to be this idiot in front of me driving 10 miles an hour on a 50 mile an hour road. But you're allowed to get things wrong. It's how we rectify the problems or resolve the problems that shows how good a company is. And I'm going to use Virgin Media as an example. Now, Virgin Media have got all their call centres out in India, or they're either India or Egypt, depends what call line you go through to. But that's where their 2 call centres are. Now, this isn't a racist rant, but people seem to instantly think that, you can't say anything bad about somebody in another country. I've not got a problem with outsourcing the work, it's cheaper. Personally, I think, we should be having it in this country, employing our own before we employ other countries, just because it's cheaper. But that's not what it's about. My issue is, and I've said this to one of the senior managers, it's actually a director in Virgin, when I had a serious complaint that escalated, and I said to him, so why have you got them? Because it's cheaper labour, was my answer. And then I was like, right, but how many customers ever ring your customer service department to tell you you're doing a good job? And he said, no. I said, right. He said, so customers only ever ring customer service when they need to change something because something's wrong. Sorry, I had to get past it. So customers only ever ring when something's wrong. So if something's wrong, then that person's probably going to be a little bit agitated, maybe a bit irate, depending on the individual. They might be off the bloody clock already and fuming, but they're going to be a little bit upset. The last thing you want to do is make them more upset. So if you put a language barrier in front of somebody, and as much as the call centres in India and in South Africa can speak English, they speak very limited English, and you would believe that they're reading from a script and they have set answers that they have to give and that they know how to say. But if they can't understand what the complaint is, then all that's going to happen is you're going to make the person who's got the complaint more and more irate. And then before you know it, a little problem becomes a big problem, and then the only way of resolving the big problem is start throwing money at it. So then the companies end up losing money because they're throwing money at the customers to try and calm them back down when they could have resolved it. And actually then, at that point, these call centres abroad aren't any cheaper because you're costing yourselves money. On the flip side, customers in this country need to get a grip of themselves and say, well, I shouldn't just demand stuff and demand compensation. You should accept that people make mistakes. And if it's put right and the situation's right in the end, then it's okay. That's where I've got to today. I ended up having to speak to a general manager, but we got a situation I was happy with. I didn't ask for anything. He's given me a free service and he's given me a free valet once. I can come back in and get a free valet at some point. Gave the kids little teddy bears and such, and he gave me more than I actually would have ever asked for, to be fair. But that was his decision to do it and rectify the situation. Had it gone worse, he was going to lose the deal and probably would have cost him a lot more money. But yeah, so we shouldn't just be asking for stuff just because someone's made a mistake, but at the same time we shouldn't be making the mistakes worse. You deal with them. So when somebody does complain to me or something does go wrong, the very, very first thing I do when something goes wrong and a customer has an involvement is I speak to the customer. So you order something from me, I tell you, yeah, that's going to be with you you order it on Wednesday evening. I tell you, fine, I'm going to post it Thursday, it'll be with you Friday. Saturday latest, depending on post. You're happy with that? I go in on Thursday, it's out of stock. Don't know how it's out of stock, but it's out of stock. The system was showing that it was all good. Right, could be a bit tricky here. I've got 2 options at that point. I've got 3 options. Option 1, which is the one that you never ever do, is you just ignore the customer and hope that it'll all be okay. Option 2 is you lie to the customer and you say, post has been delayed, or there was an error in communication, blah 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 blah. Or you do the right thing and you You email the customer, you ring the customer, however you get in touch with your customer, just try and say, listen, really sorry, been a bit of a mistake. This item that you wanted isn't in stock. I've gone to pick it off the shelf. It's physically not there. I've checked with my distributor, it's still in stock, and it's going to be back with me on Monday. Let's say for some reason I'm not getting it next day. It's going to be back with me on Monday, or in best case scenario, it's going to be back with me tomorrow and get it posted out. You're going to receive it Monday/Tuesday. Really sorry about that. Is that okay? If not, I can refund obviously the whole item to you. Give your customer the option then, don't you? Most people will turn around and go, don't worry about it, Tuesday's fine. Or the day after's fine. Or do you know what I mean? Whatever the situation. Most people have got that much plastic crack built up, or that many board games stacked up, they're not bothered about waiting a day or two. We all think we want things the next day and we need next day delivery, and it's like, whoa. Actually, we don't. We just like new toys, and yeah, it's a bit disappointing from your point of view. You've ordered something off me and I've let you down, but I've spoken to you, I've made it. I haven't given you anything. I've just spoken to you and I've given you the option of cancelling the sale and getting it elsewhere, and it'll be with you approximately the same time as what mine's going to be there. They might be a day sooner, but I've done it. I've given you the option to cancel with me because it's the right thing to do. I don't see a problem with that. That's the way everyone should operate. There are, mentioning no names, there are retailers in the UK who don't do that. They don't get in touch with you. And please don't anybody start writing comments below about other retailers' names. It's not fair to do it. We all know who these retailers are, and their business model will last as long as it lasts. If you're going to give huge margins of discounts, then you're going to get huge volumes of orders. You need huge volumes of orders just to be able to make the same amount of money. The problem is, as you start giving the huge volumes of discounts, you can't then afford to take on extra members of staff to deal with customer service and packing, and you end up falling behind, plus your credit line gets stretched and then stock goes out of order, and the problems all become massive. Hence why you shouldn't do the large volumes of discounts. But we've done a video on that in the past. But to not even get in touch with your customer, it strikes me as completely an alien concept. Why would you not do it? Why would you want to antagonise a customer? Why would I want to antagonise somebody who's given me their money for a product that I sell, that a lot of other people sell? So you chose me to give your money to, or you chose my company to give your money to, over 50, 60, 100, 150, 200 different companies just based in the UK. So you chose me for a reason. Now, you've either chose me because you already know me and therefore you want to support me, or you chose me because actually it's your first chance with us. We look professional and everything, and you're going to take a chance on us. So if the first time you use us, if I let you down, you're never going to come back again. Or if you know me and I mess you around, you're never going to come back again. You're going to go somewhere else. Whereas if I'm honest and upfront, you'll be fine. And it's communication. That's what went wrong this morning. If somebody had rang me this morning and said, oh, all our systems are down and we can't tax any new cars, I'd have been gutted because I'd planned the day around getting Nikki's car. Nikki would have been gutted. But you know what? We'd have had time to sort it out. I'd have still been in work early. This would have been recorded earlier with a whole different message in it. And we'd have got it another day. It's a car. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, I'd have been gutted. They might have made up for it in some way. I don't know, chucked a bit of extra fuel in it, or still giving the kids the little tiger toys or something like that. They'd have done something. But we'd have been told, my argument is we got no communication. And when I buy things on the internet and I don't get any communication, I'm just sat there waiting in limbo. It's terrible. And that's why I don't like buying things on the internet, generally speaking. I'm going to ask all of you to buy off my web store when it goes live in not too far distant future. I know what I meant. And I do buy things on the internet. I buy things off eBay. I buy things off whoever it might be. But there's always that element of doubt, isn't there, when you click that buy button and you check out, you think, oh, is it going to come? Is it going to be here in time? Is it going to? And you just I think we live in a culture where we almost expect things to go wrong. And if it goes wrong, we get to have a good old British moan. If it doesn't go wrong, we don't. And that's why going into a shop is always better than buying on the internet, in my opinion. Because you go in, you can see the product right there and then in front of you. If it's there in front of you, you pick it up, you walk out with it, you've got it. There's no messing around with it. If it's not in stock and you're waiting for it to come back in, fine, that's the same sort of situation then. But you know what? We try to carry a lot of stock. So, I don't know. I am just ranting, aren't I? Can you tell I'm a bit upset? But yeah, just complain correctly. But don't not complain. Don't moan to your friend about it, and then not to me, and then wonder why it's never changed. Because if I don't know to change it, I can't change it. So come to me. And I welcome anyone to do it, not necessarily in a complaining manner, but I welcome anyone to give me any suggestions. If you know me personally, or you know me because you're a physical customer in the store, or whether you just know me through my YouTube channel over the last couple of years, if you think anything I'm doing could be done better, even these CarCasts, you think I could be doing something better, tell me. Give me some advice. The best thing about this kind of advice is it's free, and I don't want to have to take it. So you might throw ideas at me, and I might just hang up. Thanks very much for them, but no. Because ultimately I'll decide whether I use them, and some I might take on, some I might not take on. There might be none come through. I don't know, there's only a couple of hundred people watch it. So, but do give me suggestions. Feedback is so important, and if it's done in the right way, then you generally get a bit of reward for it as well. The reward might just be as simple as your feedback taken on board and implemented. That's the best kind of feedback you can offer to somebody. Is, well, the best kind of reward you can offer somebody is, yeah, that's a really good idea, we're going to do that. And then when it starts getting done, you know it's done because you suggested it. Rocket science, mind blown. But yeah, listen, that's 17 minutes of me ranting about customer service and such, but at least it was a topic for today. Because other than that, Game of Thrones tournament on Saturday. Not got big numbers for it, I won't lie. It's going to happen. But there's not big numbers because there's not a massive amount of people playing it, and I accept that. We need to grow it. As a result, we've pulled a lot of the other events that we had planned because I don't think we've got the right numbers of people for them at the moment, and if we haven't got the right numbers of people, then it's not worth running. I'd sooner run no event than a substandard event. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with that. So the Malifaux event, for example, isn't going to run in September. But we probably will start the league. I say probably because there's that much on. When I said the other week all the critical stuff's done, it is, but all the other non-critical stuff just swamping us. And as soon as I put focus on one thing, I had a conversation with Dave the other day, and he said these exact words: is if he puts his focus onto this bit, then this bit starts failing. But then if he keeps his focus on there, then that starts failing. The problem is there's more work to do than able people to do them. Able people that aren't going to cost me extra money. Important. So yeah, we're just muddling through things. Demo pod tables arrived though. They arrived last night, so hopefully tonight I can take my aggression out on a screwdriver and screws. I'm not aggressive anymore. I'm not even wound up anymore, to be fair. Just frustrated, better way. Yeah, hopefully I'll get that up and running. Then we've started putting the figures together for the first couple of boards, and we'll just meander through it. It's important that we get it done. EPOS system, I believe, finished import last night, so the updates just need doing for current stock levels and for discounts. Need applying because everything's at RRP at the moment, and then with a bit of fingers crossed, the EPOS system will all be up, running and in use for Saturday. I don't see why it won't be. There might be a few teething issues. Well, there will be a few teething issues because it's just life, isn't it? But we'll get it there. And that's done then. So then we can use that to start finishing, well, start finishing. That's not good England, is it? So we can use that to finish putting the website together, and it frees us up then to be doing something else, i.e. the demo tables, because they're arguably more important than the EPOS. But anyway, we've hit 20 minutes. I'm babbling and rambling and everything else. I'm almost at work. It's 4 o'clock, well, it's 4:30, and I'm only just getting in. This isn't good, but I will see you next week. And yeah, see you next week. See you later, guys.